And academic integrity education in Tsinghua is a comprehensive initiative aimed at fostering a strong academic culture and to promote integrity, intellectual curiosity, and ethical conduct among students and faculty members, especially graduate students. And generally, the academic ethos education here have two aspects. And also I found some official information and well-organized information today to present to you guys. And the first aspect is to carry out fundamental education rigorously. It focuses on fundamental education and to guide graduate students to strictly adhere to academic norms. And firstly, academic norms and academic ethics education were included as important components as the new student orientation week. And we established a team of lecturers, especially student tutors for the academic path studio, which includes students who received national awards, top awards, and academic rising stars. These are many top awards in Tsinghua University. And there are 78 lecturers currently in service providing academic integrity lectures and other topics. And the academic integrity lectures are conducted in 28 departments in the whole school to ensure the effective coverage of the new students in our school. And also over 7,500 new graduate students last year have completed the self-study and self-assessment on academic ethics. And the second aspect is to continuously strengthen lead by example and to guide the graduate students to uphold academic ideals. There are over 200 lectures on academic life and academic paths to deliver those lectures with a total attendance of over 8,000 students to encourage the graduate students to strive for academic excellence. And also we established a Tsinghua Research Academic Comprehensive Platform. It's a mini program in WeChat. It regularly disseminates academic resources and activities. And currently it has gained close to 34,000 followers and published 144 original articles throughout the whole year. And also, like I mentioned before, we formed the Academic Path Studio to organize peer-to-peer teaching and offering specialized courses on academic writing, Python programming, the academic skills, and group consolations. And it has covered approximately 4,000 graduate students. And here I would like to introduce the peer-to-peer help on Academic Path Studio. We have a diverse, professional, and extensive peer mentor team dedicated to help Tsinghua graduate students. And on the left are some of the student tutors and with their photos and introductions. And either you have one-on-one Q&A proposals, or you want to enter some small classes with 3 or more people, you can first register online, and then you send a chat to the tutor, and then you can get a reservation. And the topics there are various topics like graduate fundamental course, like numerical analysis, machine learning, things like that. And also there's some help on comprehensive competence enhancement, like time management, emotional management, alleviating research pressure. For example, some of the students might find him or herself with great pressure during his research process. So he or she might want to find a student tutor to talk with. And also we have academic career planning course and some academic software usage skills learning classes, like teaching you how to use LaTeX, Python programming, and things like that. And also specialized courses on academic writing, academic presentation. And also there's what we highlighted with the red color, the academic integrity, academic ethos education. And in this slide, there's something in Chinese, and I'll introduce it detailedly. These are some of the slides in the academic integrity introduction. And first, we'll introduce the background, why academic integrity is really important during the process of an academic activity. And also we'll introduce some of the typical academic misconduct, like plagiarism, or some detailed phenomenon, like submitting one manuscript to multiple sources, things like that. And the third is the hazards of academic misconduct and how to remedy them, and also how to establish a good academic atmosphere. And last, we'll introduce the academic activities and resources on the campus. And next are some well-organized academic activities to cultivate the students' academic integrity attitude. The first is Academic Rising Stars Sharing Day. It is to promote peer exchange and cultivate academic aspirations. Last year, the Graduate Student Union, in collaboration with 20 graduate student branches from various departments, organized the Rising Star Sharing Day event. And the event covered 7 measures, namely like materials and biochemistry, energy and environment, construction and management of civil engineering, and also humanity and social sciences. And it is to provide the entire student body with experiences in exploring academic interests, to select research directions, and to overcome some of the academic challenges, and to build mentorship relationships. And in these photos, the invited speakers not only share their reflections and insights on scientific research based on their own research experiences, but will also provide specific guidance on research methods for the students, and also share their own experience, especially like the difficulties during their experiments or how to communicate with their tutors. And the second is the Academic Ethos Promotion Week. It is to conduct the bottom line education and promoting the academic integrity. Included with the Rising Star Sharing Day, we just mentioned, more than 6,000 new graduate students have completed self-study and self-assessment of academic ethics standards and signed the Tsinghua University Graduate Student Academic Ethics Commitment Letter. So this aims to provide the entire student body with experiences in exploring academic interests, selecting research directions, and also enhance them with the importance of academic integrity. And the last is Academic Career Lecture Month. It is to guide the students with academic goals and fostering noble aspirations. And last year, we organized 20 academic career lectures. We invited renowned experts and scholars to deliver a series of lectures on the theme of graduate student academic planning. And the lectures include the renowned experts and scholars' research direction, and also it's also aimed to embark them on the pursuit of academic excellence. And over 1,700 teachers and students participate in the activities. So these are the efforts of academic integrity education in Tsinghua. And I think we could discuss more on academic integrity and AI in the Q&A session. Thank you.
Yes, please. Can I ask a question? Yeah, thank you for can I ask a question, right?
Yes, of course, Doad, please.
Okay. Thank you so much for your presentation. It was very interesting. And one of the questions I had was, it's not very AI related, but I was very mesmerized by the numbers of attendees in the events, especially graduate students, because we in Nazarbayev University we also have graduate students, but for example, in student governments, they're not as represented as undergraduate students. So it would be very interesting to know how you attract graduate students and how you help them to disseminate information about, for example, AI usage and other academic information and non-academic.
I think you proposed a really good question. And I think based on your question, the answer could be divided into two parts. The first one is how the graduate student union could organize the students to disseminate these useful information on academic integrity, right? And the second part is how to involve AI to assist and to help them to disseminate this information, right? I think my understanding is right. And as for the first question, firstly, I think the Graduate Student Union is a well-organized and it has many branches in different departments. So through the dissemination in this path, and also through some ways online, like WeChat groups or websites or WeChat platforms, mini programs, they could post many information online. And the second part is how to use AI to assist them. Actually, I think there's a maybe there's a difference between AI and basic automation. I think AI currently is used for some higher or advanced ways to assist them, like how to deal with some trivia or detailed works, like how to collect information from the students about their problems or things like that.
Thank you for your answer. While we wait for another one, I'd like to remind people that there is also a chat session where you can leave your comments. For example, Yaroslav left a comment about the previous speakers, and if it's any of your interest, please be free to read it. And Mirivier, do we have a question here?
So thank you so much for the presentation. It was like really, you provided really valuable information. And since I also had experience in Ministry of Education in student government, I had several questions that appeared during the presentation. The first of all, I was impressed that there are a lot of academic lectures provided in your university. However, I'm just curious about whether it is mandatory or it is just optional. Because like in our case, in our university, once again, as Duat mentioned, it is as optional. And there is a problem that the lectures are attended by students who face with misconduct cases. And students who basically doesn't face and doesn't struggle with such issues, they don't attend the lectures. So it is one problem. And I had the second question about Academic Pet Studio, which is like amazing initiative, I would say. However, I noticed that basically the peers are provided for peer mentor team, and how these peers are chosen. Because especially in our artificial intelligence era, we know that ChatGPT and artificial intelligence websites, they become study body. And I'm just curious whether the peer mentor program is still in demand when we have other substitutions as artificial intelligence. So basically, there are two questions.
Wonderful.
Okay, thank you. I would like to answer the first question you mentioned about these student tutors, like how they're chosen, things like that. According to my experience, and firstly, we will have firstly, the student tutors have the will to help their peers. So they would promote themselves to join this group. And also we have a well-organized system to evaluate how the student tutors are qualified to deliver the lectures. The first is based on their to evaluate how their academic experiences, things like that. And also we would have a rehearsal of their lecture, and we would prepare slides and also like documents, and we would share it to each other, and we would revise these slides and until we think it's qualified or is useful enough to deliver these kind of lectures to other students. And also, I think it's based on some kind of trust, because things like academic skills or academic career planning or the time management, emotional management, this kind of problem, when you encounter this kind of problems, you might not, on the first place, you might not want to talk to your tutor, but you might want to talk to your peers. So I think that's why the student tutors are qualified, and maybe they are more useful to students. I think that's the answer for the first question. And would you please repeat the second question?
Thank you so much. Well, the second question was about academic lectures, whether they are optional or mandatory, or if they are optional, how effective they are.
Oh, I know what you are talking about. It's a really good question. And firstly, as for myself, you could choose for what kind of lecture you want to deliver. It's based on like how well you are confident with yourself. Like the first class that I had with other students is about academic writing. And as for my experience on like attending conferences or delivering presentations are more and more, I opened another class on academic presentation. That's based on my experience. And also there's I think, well-organized system for the evaluation for all the tutors.
Okay, thank you for your answer. I actually have a follow-up question from myself, from my side, I'm sorry. So basically, I also had questions about these courses, because at NU, we do not have specific courses maybe about academic integrity, but it's well incorporated within the ethics course, which is mandatory for all. So basically, when they talk about deontology and give an example, like the professors, give an example of what a deed might be unethical, they give examples about the academic integrity, that if you cheat, then it's going to be okay for some other people, then it's going to decrease the value of the diploma. So at the end, you are the only person who's going to suffer from it. So basically, we see it kind of well hidden within the course to kind of create intrinsic values. So you won't do it by yourself, because what we have here with AI is that our measures are reactive. So we are a bit behind the cheating tools, let's say. So the official results of like cheating and etc. Might not really reflect the reality that's going inside the student communities. So with these courses, like the content might be might be excellent, but how do you evaluate the effectiveness here, except for the official results of cheating and etc.? So how do you measure if you kind of manage to create these intrinsic values or not?
You mean how to value, like using AI to cheat? You mean the consequences? How serious is the consequence? Are you asking about that?
I'm asking that the content, the lecture might be good, but the fact that I attended the lecture might not really mean that I got what it was about. So how do you assess if the students really understood it and like got this intrinsic values that they do not want to cheat, even if there are no sanctions for this action?
Oh, I got it. I think it's a good question. And firstly, the initiative of delivering like academic integrity presentations, lectures to the students are making them more like making them clearer about what is academic misconduct. For example, some of the students are not really clear about like submitting one manuscript to multiple sources, like to submit one paper to different international journals, like, or even some students ask questions about, can I submit one manuscript to a Chinese journal and also to an English journal, questions like that. And from that perspective, firstly, we could solve some of the problems. We could make some of the academic moral norms clearer to the students. I think that's one way to show that the lectures are useful. And apart from making the rules clearer, and the second perspective is about the attitude. Firstly, we would like to tell the students the serious consequences of plagiarism, to not follow the academic rules, because there are many like rules in Tsinghua University of like plagiarism or things like that. Like you introduced in your presentation, the code of conduct. Yeah. And also is on the moral perspective. Yeah, that's all.
Thank you very much for your answer. I think you answered it all. And also I just realized that the comments that we leave in the chat might not be visible to you because we are on the screen. So Yaraso here left a comment, so I'd like to read it for you. As a comment for the presentation, I think that Academic Path Studio is really a great initiative under the Graduate Student Union umbrella. We at NU also have something like this, but we as a student government share the responsibilities with what we call an academic advising office under the Office of the Registrar. We will definitely think about integrating this kind of experience here back at NU. Thank you for your comment, Yarasul. And we have 8 minutes left. If any of you have any more questions, please raise your hand. Yeah.
Well, thanks for your introduction, like you just mentioned, and we would also interested in that, and we could have a chance to know more about that too. Yeah. And also we could talk more about AI and academic integrity next step, or in the panel discussion.
Okay, I think Mirviat has the last question here before we move on to the next section. Mirviat.
Thank you so much. So I have just a quick question. How the faculty members and professors, they promote academic integrity within the classroom setting, inside of classroom settings? Because what I have noticed is these academic lectures, a peer mentor program, they're all initiative done by Graduate Union. It is something that's done outside of classroom settings. And what about the professors themselves taking responsibility for promoting the academic integrity of values within the classroom? For example, in our cases, we have professors who explain the importance and significance of academic integrity and its penalty during the first lecture, or some professors just indicate in the syllabus. These are just simple examples. But what about in your university?
Oh, I think what you are talking about is quite important. And first, as for the Academic Path Studio, there are like nearly 80 students, I mean peer mentors for the students to talk with, to raise questions. And also in the whole semester, and especially in the new student orientation week, the professors also have their own classes, lectures on academic integrity provided to the students. It's just we provide another path, another choice for the students to talk with.
Thank Thank you very much for your questions and answers. If we do not have any more questions, I suggest that we move on to the next part, which is the panel discussion. Will that be all right with you?
If that's okay, I'd just like to make a little comment.
Please, yes.
Yeah, it's just about academic integrity that it's very important. I'm very impressed with all the work that you're doing. Thank you for the opportunity. I think I'd like to mention that we have to remember that students sometimes they come from different background of education. They could come from private school, government schools, different cultures, different families. So it was important. Sometimes academic integrity was introduced to students since they were in primary school, and sometimes they don't have this information about academic integrity. So it's important when a student, when they approach a higher education, maybe they never heard about academic integrity back when they were in primary or secondary school. So it's important to introduce academic integrity, as I've heard, from the first year on the first day at class, so they can understand how important academic integrity is, not from the first day university, but the future as well, when they graduate and when they end their profession. Thank you.
Thank you for your wonderful comment. Yes, actually at NU, we do also have this. We have it integrated in the foundation year program. We have it in every syllabus as a link to a more detailed website in order to avoid being repetitive. But yes, these courses are available. And I think that's really important because I noticed when I started university as well that people come from different backgrounds. I think then it's time to move to the panel discussion. The agenda of the panel discussion is NU and THU practices, academic integrity in the age of artificial intelligence, and does AI like ChatGPT constitute academic dishonesty? To moderate the panel discussion, I'd like to invite Dr. Loletta O'Donnell, the Vice Provost of Academic Affairs at NU, the biggest supporter and projects inspirer. Dr. Loletta, please.
Thank you, Noma Khan. Thank you very much. And thank you, everybody. It's so great to see you. Greetings to my colleagues, Aliyah and Aliyah. Greetings to our wonderful students from Tsinghua. It's terrific to see you. We've got alumni here as well, by Bares, who will be asking some questions of in just a few moments. So this session will go in local Astana time from 3 p.m. to 3:45 p.m. And we have 4 people who very kindly agreed to join the panel. We've asked for questions from our colleagues at Tsinghua and from students here at Nazarbayev University. And we're going to ask our panelists some of these questions. And as with the previous session, we invite your comments and questions. And of course, you're welcome to use the chat session, the chat function as well for any comments. If you've got a question or thought you'd like to share with us as you go through, just put your hand up and I'll come to you. But please allow me to introduce our 4 panel members. Firstly, I think Hansei, we still have you available to us. Is that right, Hansei from Tsinghua? You're going to be on this panel session, I believe, and we already have heard that Hansei is a postdoc researcher at Tsinghua. She's also an award-winning scholar, and she's been the Shuimu Scholar of Tsinghua. She's won outstanding paper awards, and she's certainly a rising star and scholar. And I believe her colleague, Iku, is that you there, Iku? Is that you? Hello.
Hello, Professor.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello. Very nice to see you. Iku, would you like just to take a minute to introduce yourself to the Zoom room here today? Just tell us in a sentence or two a little bit about your background.
Okay, thank you for the opportunity. My name is Xiu Yike, and I graduated from Tsinghua University undergrad, and I'm currently a Schwarzman Scholar here, a graduate student in Tsinghua, and I have personally tutored as a TA of a calculus course here in Tsinghua. So fortunately, my course was not affected by ChatGPT, but I have heard from other TAs who has suffered from already from artificial intelligence in how they grade their homework and how they judge whether or not plagiarism was introduced in the students' work. So I'm really thrilled to engage in this conversation. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you so much. And you're a Schwarzman Scholar. So again, a very distinguished member of our community here today. Mariette, I know you very well. We worked very closely when you were in student government, but could you maybe just tell us in a sentence or two a little